Hello everyone, it's Jennifer, and thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to work on the Coastal Oasis. This is the treasure box from Potomac Beads. This is a subscription box. It's a monthly subscription. However, though, you can set your subscription to either be monthly, where it renews every single month, or you can go as far as 1 year, and you get the best bang for your buck by signing up for that annual subscription. And this month is just packed with so many goodies. I will put a link in the description to my unboxing, and I can't wait to get into this box. Now, there's a couple things that I'm going to be using, actually four things that I'm going to be using from the box. I'm going to be using the faceted rounds in jade. I'm going to be using the sea foam lined crystal AB8OC beads, and I am going to be using some of these Czech glass shells. I'm not going to use all of them because I want to use them in another project. And what am I bringing in from my own self is I'm bringing in a couple of crimp beads. I'm using 5 head pins. I'm using some bald head pins. I have some jump rings, and I have a plain toggle clasp. I have been needing a bracelet, and so this is what we're doing. We're going to make me a bracelet, but I'm not sure exactly how it's all going to play out. I feel like I'm not going to use a ton of these beads here because I want them for a necklace, and then I know we're going to use some of these, so we're going to keep those out, and we're going to do a simple stringing project. And what else are we going to bring in? Some of these guys. Okay, I'm not sure how many we're going to need. We're going to need more of those. And then this is from the strand. This is from one of the strands included in the box. All the beads were included in the box. Then not the crimp beads or the head pins or the toggle or the jump rings. Also too, I'm going to bring in a couple of wire guardians because I like using wire guardians, and these were from a prior box. These are Potomac Beads wire guard protectors. These are the 4.5 by 4 millimeter premium 99% plated wire guardians, and I like using them. We're not going to string directly onto the toggle. We are going to use jump rings, and so we're also going to use jump rings for our dangles as well. And I think I'm going to need a couple more jump rings because I like to use a few jump rings when I'm doing my when I'm attaching it. Also too, there's something else in the box that I need that I didn't have included in here, and that is going to be one of the starfish charms. We're going to use the starfish charm as a dangle too. So we have a few things going on, and I do have some bead caps that were from a prior box. So if we're going to use those, we will see if we'll use those. I'm going to start digging into the prior boxes and trying to use as many of the main components. So I'm not going to go and pull beads from another box when I'm sharing inspiration for this box. However, though, when it comes to the hardware like toggle clasps and jump rings and bead caps and those types of things, I'll bring those in from either my stash or other boxes. Something else we're going to use is we're going to string this all together by using some of the Potomac beading cable. Love when they include these in their boxes. As far as tools, you're going to need some standard crimping pliers. You're going to need a chain nose plier, an optional second chain nose plier. These are bent. Then a round nose plier and some cutters. And what I want to do first, we're going to work from the spool because I don't know how many beads I'm going to need. I did not do this up prior to. And we're probably going to maybe put these in the middle and then just work our way around to make it symmetrical. Not sure if I'm just going to add them sporadically through the bracelet. Again, I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. However, though, I do know that I need to make a couple more dangles. And I already attached these to jump rings just because when I add them to the bracelet, I want them to dangle. I don't want it to be attached to the bracelet and then it not dangle. So I have one of my bald head pins, and I'm gonna make this one here with using one of the Czech rounds with one of the seed beads on top. We will come in with our chain nose pliers and give it that 90-degree angle bend. Then we will come in with our round nose pliers so that we can make our loop, and we're gonna form that loop over that top barrel. I'm just gonna hold on to that so it doesn't slip up and down the barrel, and then I'm gonna push that to the back and then just rotate my wrist while applying just a little bit of pressure just to make sure we get that centered. I put my chain nose pliers on top of my loop, not where the wires are crossing, and then I am just gonna lock that in place. I just give it a little bit of a bend just to lock it in place so that I can get my chain nose pliers a little more secure. Then I'm gonna come in, you can use your fingers if you want. I like using my chain nose pliers for the second pair. Here's the reason why. I don't have very strong hands, and then I like them to be very precise. And I have found when I have tried doing my wraps with just my fingers, they're not very pretty. And I love wire wrap loops. And so, helps if you get this on there. I love wire wrap loops. And so I just feel like for me, I get the wrapping just more tight and more clean when I do it that way. Then for the other one, I did a seed bead with one of the clear beads and another seed bead. So let's grab another head pin and go just like that, okay? It's a little crooked, it's all right. We're gonna come in again with our chain nose pliers, give it that 90-degree angle bend. That's not really 90 degrees, but let's give it that 90-degree angle bend. Then we'll come in and form that over the top barrel, push that to the back, and then you can see it's way off. And so we're gonna get that just a little centered, get our chain nose pliers in place, lock it in place. We can get a little closer there. And then get to wrapping. I've been so excited about this box. I couldn't put it away. I just recorded the unboxing and I couldn't put it away. Well, I stepped away for just a few minutes. I had a couple things to do. Okay. All right. Now let's grab our jump rings and add our jump rings. And I like using the second pair for jump rings as well. Did you hear that unlock? That's a good jump ring right there. You will see, and it's not wrong, but some people use their fingers, and I just, wow, that's just impressive to me. I can't do that. Okay, let's get this going here. We're gonna open that up. I heard it unlock, and then get that place there. Now I almost grabbed a bunch of eye pins for one thing, I need to get used to using eye pins, and I just can't. But I almost grabbed some eye pins to make it a bunch of wire wrapping. But then I have some beading wire, so we're gonna use the beading wire. All right, so let's get this opened up just a little bit more, and I'm gonna work from the spool. And sometimes what I like to do is I do like to work from the inside out. And so if I do that, then I will cut a piece off. So we'll see how we fare here. And I do know that I need a couple of those on the end. So I'm gonna add a couple of seed beads. I'm gonna add one clear, add a couple more of the clear, And then a couple more of the seed beads. Then what we'll do is we'll add one of these. We'll do a couple more seed beads. And we'll do another one of these. And I know that I have enough, so I'm not worried about running out of beads. If you didn't have a full strand of your clears or as many of the rounds that they give you, then you would want to make sure that you have enough. And so what I would be doing is I would probably either work and it's up to you, but you can work from the spool and just as you're adding, put them off to the side, or you can just cut off your piece. And if you're making like a 6.5-inch bracelet, I would typically pull maybe like 10 inches, gives me some extra room. And yeah, so I am just going back and forth like this, and I'm kind of digging that. Now I want to see how much this full segment is. That's like one segment, and it is exactly 1.5 inches. So if I do that on this side, I know that I have 3 inches of beads. So what I want to do is I want to add one of these guys, and I want it to I don't want it to run along the, I should probably maneuver myself a little bit. I don't want it to run along the beading wire because I don't want the metal. So I just want to make sure, and my jump rings do go over the seed beads, which is absolutely perfect. And what I'm doing is I'm making it to where the clear is going to be in between, just like this. Okay, and then when we go to tighten, we'll just make sure that we have everything all secure with making sure that the jump ring isn't underneath. So now what I want to do is I'm going to go like this. I'm going to add one of these dangles. And then I'm going to add this. So I'm going like, just like that. Okay, so we're going to do 2 like that. We're going to go 2 like those. Then what I want to do is, let's see how much that is. That is about 2 inches. So then we know with that setup over here, we're going to have about 4 inches, right? So we have about 4 inches. Then what I want to do is add 2 more seed beads, a bead cap, and I want to add one of these guys. Let's add another bead cap. And then I'm just going to add 1. And let's just hope that, and I'm not too worried about the direction of, but we'll have them going in the same direction. And because this was what, 2 inches? Did I say that that was 2 inches? Yeah, that was 2 inches. So then we know we have 4. Then we're going to have another 5. I feel like I need a little bit more. So let's take this off. We're changing it up. All right, so I took it off. Isn't this terrible? And this isn't even a live video. So it's not even like, I'm going to move the dangles over there. So then I'm going to go white. So I'm going to go white or clear. Then I'll keep up with the pattern. And we're going to go here. And then we're going to go here. Okay. And then we're going to go here. Oops, wait. We can go here. Just like that. And we'll do this guy. Then we'll do 2 more. Oh, no, no, nope, 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 nope. We're gonna do this. Then we're gonna do 2 more. And then we're gonna do this. So it's kind of like design on the fly without it being live. So sorry. I am so sorry that I'm going back and forth. But this just shows you that you can do this so many different ways. Again, make sure you get that into the center of your bead cap. Okay. And I will only make this project in this video, so it's not so long. So you don't have to sit through me changing my mind. And I do this when I have something on my mat. So I'll have something on my mat and I'll have it planned out. I didn't have this one planned out, but I'll have it planned out. Oh, that's cute. I like that, because then we'll have another dangle off on the end, because we're going to have this dangling with that. And so I will a lot of times already have in mind what I'm going to do, and then will change my mind at some point. But it just usually I don't know. I just change my mind. I just get a little, once I guess I kind of see it, and then you just want to change it. It's all good. Okay, so here we go. So thank you for sitting through all of that with me while I decided to change. And you saw how easy it was just to change that out. And I'm gonna go with this color. It was just easy. Right. So excited for this. I love it. All right. I'm gonna go here. How many do we need to do? So one of the bracelets I made really super long. That's okay. Okay, so we have 1, 2, so I need one more of these with 2 more of these, and then I'll look at the sizing, because what I can do is whatever I add. So, and I'll show you what I do if I need to add more. And it's like, oh wait, no, you have to take it all apart. No, you don't have to take it all apart. It's all good. All right, so let me see. Oh, let's add 2 more. And then we'll see how long that is. I think that's about perfect. So now say it was too long or too short and I needed to add more. What I would do, since I want to keep this here, I could very easily just detach it, but if you cut it and you're like, oh wait, I added way too much, I don't have room, I always add what I'm gonna need on both ends at the same time. Then what I do is, before I crimp it, I pull off what I'm going to add onto the other side. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's get these put away. Okay. Give it a quick look over and make sure that I have my pattern correct. Yes, I do. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to pick up my crimp bead. I'm using a crimp bead, not a crimp tube, but I'm using a crimp bead today. I just felt like using a crimp bead. I used only crimp beads for a long time because I was really, really kind of afraid of crimp tubes. I don't know why I was so afraid of them. All right, let's do that. And bring it just a little bit closer. The wire guardian, just a little closer. And move those wires across, separated. add my standard crimping pliers and give it a squeeze, and those two, one's on one side, one's on the other as far as the wire. I'm gonna go ahead and give that a little bit of a trim, just like a little bit of a tug test. I am gonna pass this through just a couple of beads, only because I want it to sit straight or centered on that crimp bead. And so now I'll come in. I don't need those anymore. So I'm gonna come in here and give it a little bit of a trim. So there we go. Then, since I'm not adding any more to this, I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna grab my crimp my crimp bead. I'm gonna grab my wire guardian. I couldn't get that spit out. So on this side, I'm coming back. I had to step away for a second. And coming back, I have my crimp bead. I have my wire guardian. I'm gonna pass that back through the wire guardian on the other side. Pass it back through the crimp bead. Then I'm gonna come down a couple of beads. And again, I'm gonna do this so it sits nice and centered on that crimp bead. Plus, it gives me a little, I don't know, I feel like it gives me a little more room to hold on. And I'm just I'm holding this because this is how it will go on my wrist. And I want to make sure I'm not sitting on top of my seed beads or on top of my wire guardian. So see how I can move that around? I'm not sitting on top of it. Give it a little bit of a squeeze. And I'm coming back around with that top notch. Make sure again that I'm not on top of my wire guardian or on top of my seed beads. And then I'm going to come in and give that a trim. Make sure it gets all nice and tucked in there. And it's not going to come out. It's not going to come out at all. Okay, now we have our hardware to put on, and then we have our dangles. Okay, so I do, oh, you know what? I want to add another jump ring to this so that it will move around a little bit. And I just had to look to make sure I was still recording. Have you ever done that? If you make videos, have you ever done that where you've gone through an entire project, you look and you're like, oh my goodness, I did not even hit record. So I'm gonna need one more jump ring, but we are going to add our jump ring. Okay, we're gonna try that again because it did not want to hang on there. So we're gonna add our jump ring, and you can add a larger one if you want to. I'm okay with this because this is all just gonna dangle down, and I'm putting this on the side that has this one so that the toggle, I'm not fighting with getting the toggle part through the round part, the bar through the round part with having all those dangles. So now we have our dangles just like that. Now we have our bar, and I want 3. 2 might work. We will see. So the way I know is when I look at this and go that way, I might actually be able to just use 1. Let's try just 1. And the reason why I'm looking is those beads are a lot smaller than that toggle, or the round part. So I think we will be okay. And it will be oriented correctly as well. That's what I was also looking at. Okay, I'm so excited to get this done because I need that for this week coming up. All right, and so then we are just going to add our little toggle, and there we have our little bracelet. We have some little bit of dangles throughout. We have that nice, beautiful centerpiece, and then we have our dangles down here at the bottom. I flipped it over so it actually should go like this. because I flipped it over so that the charm would sit correctly. And our little dangles. There we go. Oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed. So please give this video a huge thumbs up if you like it. Comment. I'd love to see what everybody has to say. Go check out Potomac Beads. This one here is Coastal Oasis. I have the unboxing linked in the description, as well as a link to Potomac Beads so that you can go and grab your own subscription. And until next time, have a good one.